The residents have some very serious concerns about Island Timberlands' proposed logging around Crowther Road. I guess the biggest concern is that the area that's being logged is very vertical, it's very steep. In some places it's just up and down. And taking the trees out of there is going to really cause slope instability. Last year and the year before, they cleared the rest of the slope all the way up to the top of the peak there, of the ridge. And so what that means is that there is almost an uninterrupted vertical where water is going to run down, rocks are going to be rolling down, boulders are going to be rolling down, and there's no natural barrier to stop them. So that's a huge concern because there's going to be boulders coming down onto the road, across the road, onto people's properties. The drinking water is also something that the residents really have to be concerned about. When all the trees are gone, the question is whether or not the water will in fact seep into the ground properly or just run off. If there is no proper recharge of the wells, it could affect the people's drinking waters. That whole area is going to be replanted at some point, and when they replant it, they use lots of toxic pesticides and fertilizers. And there is a question about whether that will infiltrate into the drinking water of the residents of the area. So those are some of the big questions. Other questions people have include the fact that the logging trucks are not going to be mostly using logging roads. They're going to be coming in and out on Crowther Road. Now, Crowther Road is basically a one-lane road that's narrow, gravel-based, with a number of very steep up and downs. So the neighbors and the residents are looking at that area and saying, I'm going to try to drive my car to my house, and there's going to be a logging truck coming down, bearing down on me. This is not a highway. This is a small road. Should be the major place that the trucks are going to come into and leave the area from. We have a very active shellfish population. There's both natural shellfish and there is aquaculture. And what's going to happen with the silt, the chemicals, and the runoff when it comes into the ocean and affects the aquaculture? It affects the fish, it affects the invertebrates, it affects the plant life in the water. And we're just starting to see some rebuild of the fish population. This could really do incredible damage to our marine life. They've logged a tremendous area already. This will finish clearing a very huge tract of land. And the question is, we see herons, we see eagles, we see barred owls regularly. We know there are marbled murrelets in the area. What's going to happen to their nesting sites? The bears are really frequent that area, and anyone who's walked up there is likely to either run into a bear or run into evidence that a bear has been there. Getting rid of the rest of their habitat, it's going to have an impact on the bear population, which of course is going to have an impact also on the residents. So these concerns are ones that Island Timberlands knows about. We've raised it to them, yet none of them have been adequately addressed.